Everybody, just get myself together. It's kind of chilly this morning, as always, in the fall, winter time. Good morning, good morning. Come on in. Good morning. We're going to do a little something different today. I don't know if we're going to make it out to the actual garden, but if you're coming in, please take the poll so I know what kind of audience we have today. Good morning. It's like the end of the month. I want to do something a little bit different. See what all we have. Good morning, brother. Good morning. You're in the bed this morning. We may end in time to catch some church this morning, brother. But I have some things. Good morning. Good morning, Chanel. Good morning. Hey, hey, hey. Good morning. Let's come on in. Give people a chance to come in. So I did a thing yesterday. And if you saw my post, you know that I set up my indoor hydroponic system. I'm hoping that it's set up right. I watched a lot of videos. And yeah, it's all set up. I have about 8 ceilings in there. I'll turn the camera around in a minute, let everybody see what we got going on here today. But I kind of wanted to talk about indoor gardening, the different methods of doing it, and if you do it, take the poll. If you don't do it, maybe you'll learn something today. I'm hoping to learn something from viewers today. So I'm just trying to figure out if I'm doing it right, right? So I followed the instructions, I watched a lot of videos, and then I started thinking, if this works, I'm definitely gonna have to get myself another one, maybe a bigger one. So I started out and I'm doing 3 different types of basils and some brassicas in it, just because I realized that I don't have the amount of seed starts that I need to go inside the enclosure. So I want to see if I can get them. The only thing that I think I'm going to have to do is be very, very patient. And sometimes patient isn't one of my strong points. So I was watching videos and they say about a month to 7 weeks or so is when I'm really going to start to see the plants do whatever they're going to take, about a week or 3 days, 3 to 7 days to germinate and sprout. And when I put the seeds in there yesterday, I came in last night and I was kind of like just looking at it to see what it was doing, had my ear to it to make sure the water pump was working. So it's like a kid in a candy store just trying to figure out what's what. But let's talk about the different things too. Chanel, I was really out here. Now, I just started it yesterday. I know I had no business out here on this sun porch last night looking into those little things to see if anything had sprouted. I know it doesn't happen that quick, but I couldn't help myself, right? So let's just turn you around so you can kind of see. Let me move some of the stuff around on the table. Turn you around so you can see. All right, so you see there, we got everything in. It has the lights here, right? Good old lights, and then I have all of them in there. Oh, I turned it off. I probably shouldn't have did that, but you look down inside and everything, and so this, what I found interesting is very sensitive to touch. So do I talk to it also, brother? Let me tell you, when they start growing, yes, I'm going to talk to them. As long as they don't answer back, it's fine, right? If they start talking back, we got bigger problems over here, okay? So, so yeah, if they start talking back, my eyes are watering this morning. We got bigger problems. So, yeah, so yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna be getting another one. So, Come on in, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, no problem, friend. No problem. No problem. We're just going to talk about hydroponics today and indoor, not only hydroponics, but indoor growing in general. So, I had mentioned yesterday that I saw online that people are using different ways to grow things inside because with the weather happening, people still want to garden a year round and not have to deal with going outside in the cold. And I completely feel them on that. So I did a little research and I'm trying to figure out um, exactly what to do, right? Um, but before we get started, if you're new to the channel, I see we have some people in the chat this morning. Even if you're driving or you can't really respond, make sure you drop a like on the stream this morning. If you're on mobile, you can double tap your screen and it will sound off the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe so you can follow all the content and all the updates going along. So let's just get the little housekeeping rules out of the way first. So double tap that screen, do the like, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Now let's get into it. Right. So hydroponics is basically you're growing in a water system. So all the roots are going to be down in the water system itself. So, Chanel, do you have a hydroponic system? I think you said you wanted to get one or you have one. So I'm pretty much going to wait to see how this one does. This is my first time doing it. And I'll tell you what I've learned so far, right? So here's what I've learned so far. The roots grow into the water. You need a water pump. So I had like a little oopsie with this particular hydroponic system and I was able to troubleshoot it a little bit, but when I first got it and I first tried to set it up, the pump on the inside wasn't working. So I had to do a little jimmying and thinking outside of the box. So now it works, right? So I would say one of the essential tools that you need for inside hydroponic system is you got to make sure that you have maybe a spare water pump or some type of grow medium, right? So there's like the lead pot and there's the hydroponic system and there are like tons of different ways to do it. You can even, from what I saw, you can even build your own. And I did look into that, but I think it's a little bit too much work for me. And one of the things that I also learned is you can't use regular tap water in these systems, especially if you have like chlorine, because you need a good pH balance. So let's get into it, right? First things first, why do a hydroponic gardening? Like a lot of people, it's like a modern day hobby. Now, it's not going to be a hobby for me. I want to grow stuff, right? You can't wait for your sister to buy you one? Brother, if I buy you a hydroponic system, are you going to use it? Because that might be a thought. Maybe we can grow some stuff together. I don't think you're going to use it. And so the hydroponic system that I have is very compact. You could sit it on a table. I was advised that you should not sit it in a windowsill because it might get too hot and stuff like that. You can put it on a counter because it has its own lights. So what I wanted to do, but I'm not going to do it with this one, is put it in the basement because it has its own lights to see what happens in like a dark space in the basement. So Chanel is saying, thinking about getting an A-Hope hydroponic system. It's already in your cart on Amazon. Girl, buy them groceries and go ahead and get it. So I got that from Shelly's Homestead Hideaway. She said that when she buys things, she tells her husband that it's groceries, or that's what they say it is. So I saw the A-Hope Garden hydroponic system on Amazon too. And surprise, surprise, it's also in my cart. I'm not going to check out on it yet because I want to make sure I can grow in this one first. I have a Amazon wish list, and it's on my wish list. Good morning, G Mama. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm glad that G Mama's here because I was watching her live stream, and she does the hydroponics. She does everything, but she does hydroponics. So I'm glad that she's here. Maybe she can chime in and tell me where I'm wrong and give me some help this morning. Help me, please. Good morning, Richmond from IT. I think you're overseas, right, Richmond? Good morning, welcome back. Good morning, Tamiko D. Good morning, welcome back. So I'll pan around in a minute because you guys missed it. I did a thing yesterday, and my thing is, let me just show you. I'll show you and then I'll talk at the same time. So let me just pan down. See that? I got me a hydroponic system, and I'm super excited about it. And I'm so excited that I was like a little kid last night, and I kept coming out here looking in it, listening to make sure the pump was working and all the things. And now I'm like, now I have it here. Now what? Now what am I supposed to do? Somebody tell me what I'm supposed to do next. How long am I supposed to wait for something to happen, right? Let's grow together, right? So they say that it's going to take it about, what, 3 to 7 days for me to see a sprout. So I'm hoping that in 3 to 7 days I see a sprout. I told you guys yesterday I have this heater back here on this back porch, and at night I turn the heater on. So when I came out here this morning, the temperature was right around, let me check. Okay, so the temperature, I had to just look at it. The temperature was like 74 degrees out on the sun porch, which I think is a good temperature. And then during the day, because the sun comes in and it kind of bakes the porch, I turn the heater off so it doesn't overheat. So I do know that you have to be in a temperature controlled environment. So I think we can mark that right on off the list. Check. Temperature. I tested it out before I set it up, and check. Now, one of the things I want to know is, right, can I plant anything in there? So this particular garden cube, brother, has two different settings. There's one for vegetables, and then there's one for flowers. So vegetables and fruits and flowers, right? So just about anything. Like I've never tried to, like, I don't really do house plants, but thank you. Yeah, the yellow shirt of the branding is actually my favorite of all the shirts that I have. So I have yellow, white, pink, gray, black, but the yellow one is my favorite. So, but yeah, I think that you can grow, and G Mama, you can let me know if I'm wrong. You can grow just about anything in these things. Now, I wouldn't grow root veggies, right? It would look good with my hat. I have my hat right here. See? I just didn't put it on this morning because I know I'm not going outside. I'll put it on a little later if we go outside, because we might have time to go outside. So I don't think you should grow root veggies in these. So I wouldn't put like a carrot in there. I wouldn't put like a parsnip or a rutabaga or those type of things in here. I just don't think that they would do very well. I wouldn't say grow, I would say start seeds. So, okay. I can't stand you, brother. So, okay, so thank you for that. So G Mama is saying I wouldn't say grow things in it, but maybe like start seeds, right? So I'm going to use it to start seeds in it. But come springtime, I bought some of those, let me see if I'm saying this right, parthenogenic cucumbers. And I think that those stay inside of the grow system, right? So yeah, that I think you can grow in there. And I bought some of the, what are those little tiny tomato plants? I bought the tiny tomato plants too. I bought two different varieties. There's going to be an orange tomato and a red tomato, or is it yellow and red? So those I think you leave inside of the grow system, because the back of it, let me just show you the back of it. Yeah, the micro dwarf. Thank you. I know somebody was going to be able to tell me what it was. The micro dwarf tomatoes I got and the parthenogenic cucumbers. Those, when I get my other growth system, because I'm definitely, if this works, I'm gonna get another one. Okay, so I bought those to go inside of it too. So let me just show you. Let me turn it around again. Let me show you. And I probably shouldn't be doing this, but let's see. Down. Let's turn you around. So the one thing that I like about this one, you saw that it was very sensitive to touch, but over here, what I like about it is when the plants start to get bigger, this like raises up and it tilts on the top it says it's the power button, of course. The water, I guess, where the filter, you want to turn the filter on. I don't know if there's ever a thing where you would turn the filter off. I'm not sure yet. There's a vegetable setting, and then there's a fruits and a flower setting. So I'm sure as the plants get bigger, you can actually stick rods in these little holes here. The rods are over there. I'll show you. So let's try to get here. So here are the rods that they came with. And I'm sure if when I do the dwarf tomatoes and stuff, you just stick the rods in these little holes here. So yeah, let me just put this back down because I think, yeah, the lights themselves, so easy to get down and up. So the lights themselves, I'm sure, because I see a little condensation on some of these covers here, I'm sure that the lights are providing them with some type of heat. I don't think that the oh, that was me. I hit the mute button. I did. Okay. So, like I was saying before I hit my mute button, can you hear me now? Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I touched it. G Mama, you right. I guess that happened to you before. There you go. So, good morning, Lee VT Blogs. Hi, how are you? How are you? Um, so, what I was saying is, G Mama said that it's good to have a light system that the light tips. Thank you so much for subbing. The light tilts. I didn't know that all of the systems didn't have tilting lights. So, I know that going forward, when I do get another one, I'm definitely going to um, get one that the light tilts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now that I have that out the way, right? I'm gonna get my whole life together. My brother's gonna buy me another hydroponic system, y'all. Just so you know, I'm putting it out there in the atmosphere. We're gonna speak it to life, and all of that. So, couple things that we're gonna talk about. Wow, I think we definitely have some trolls this morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this system, when I looked it up online, they can run you about 35 bucks or so. Good morning from Romania. Good morning and welcome in. Thanks for joining. Where did I get it? You can, so Garden Cube sells most of theirs on Amazon. I couldn't find another website, so I think that they have some type of partnership. And so I think, thank you, thank you. I think they have some, Garden Cube, I think, has a partnership with Amazon. So I only see these in on Amazon. I couldn't find it on another website because I definitely did look because I wanted to see. So I'll just tell you a little bit about what's inside of there. So one of the things that I had to get was you cannot put tap water in here. I think I was saying earlier. So you have to use either pure water or distilled water. So yeah, it's supposed to allow you. So Rich's question is, what's the true purpose to allow you to have 365 gardening? Yes. So a lot of people live in climates where there's like cold weather year round, and they want to grow year around, and they just don't have the proper sunlight to grow, and it's cold basically. That's my purpose. That's what I think the purpose is, right? So do I have the box here? I'll read to you what they say on this good box here. So the box says, that so it's quiet sound, water shutdown protections. Da, 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 da. I'm looking for where it tells you. All right. So this one has a full light growth spectrum, auto automatic cycle water system, 8 pods, soil-free and eco-friendly planting, right? So soil-free, eco-friendly planting, that's what we have here, right? So let me just scroll up. Right. So Rich from IT, I don't know if you guys, I'm not sure that you could probably, so there's the Arrow Hope Garden, there's the Garden Cube. There's so many different types of um, gardening systems. I'm sure that you could get one in the Netherlands somewhere if you don't have one already. Um, this one has adjustable height, and it has just the different specs. So, they always put like a little cutesy picture on there to show you what you can grow in it, right? So, G Mama, I did hear that you can put tap water out and leave it for 12 to 24 hours in your hydroponic tower. I did see a tower, so I have a question about your tower in a minute. So, if you leave it out, do you test the pH of your tap water that you leave out? Because I did hear that they're like these little pH strips, but I'm pretty sure that if you leave it out, I think the purpose of leaving it out is to just maybe chill out or get the chlorine to go down a little bit, because they say that you have the Effie's Grow Kit. I'm gonna have to write that down. I have a pen and paper today because I said if anybody gives me any ideas, I'm gonna have to look into it. So the Effie's Grow Kit. Okay. And yes, you need a pH meter. So is there a guideline when you adjust the light up and down? Yeah, so when you adjust the light up and down, it's so that you don't burn the leaves, right? So as the plants grow taller, you need to adjust the light because you don't want the light to burn up your leaves. It's the same thing when you're outside and it's like too much sun on your plants. Sometimes people like put some type of cover over them outside. You don't think that the sun is burning them, but the sun can burn your plants. So here's my question, G Mama. So I know you have a few different grow systems where you are. Do you ever use these rock wool things inside of your hydroponic grow systems? I'm sure this rock wool is pretty, well, it seems kind of fragile. But what I was going to try was to put the rock wool in some water and just to put some, when spring comes, to see if I could do any seedlings in here. But then yesterday when Cece said, oh, do you have a hydroponics tower? Now she has me thinking that I shouldn't use these rock wools unless I have some type of tower to put them in. So there are actually quite a few Dutch companies that custom build huge industrial hydroponic systems. That's pretty cool. Yes, you need a pH meter. The link for the Effie's Grow System is in G Mama Grows' bio. So if you're on here, you could tap over and see hers. That's a preference that you don't use. I'm a cocoa core grower. Good morning, Miss J.K. Gardner. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? If you're just coming in, just make sure you scroll up and take the poll. I want to know who all grows inside, right? Who grows inside, right? So because I have the garden cube, I'm starting off pretty small this morning, and I know that I'm gonna grow more in it, right? So to give myself a better chance, I bought the hydroponic grow sponge sets, and inside this box they have like more sponges, more tags, some tweezers, and plant food, right? So let me just show you guys what it looks like. And this is where I say sometimes gardening can be expensive because you get one thing and then you realize you need like other things, right? So I think I have one out, but I'll just show you the growth sponges that go inside of this one in particular. So they don't look exactly the same, but I figured they'll do, right? Yeah, I'm definitely ready. So this one has like 100 different sponges. So the reason why I bought it is because I was like, if I mess up, I definitely need some more sponges because I wasn't really sure. And whenever you see the video that drops of me setting it up, you're going to see where I had like a little oopsie when I was setting it up, and I had to look back at it and I was just like, oh, that's funny. So it has the little sponges here, and inside the sponge you see the little hole where you put the seeds at. Check it out. So, and then inside of the there's like a little basket that you put the sponge inside of, and then there's like these fertilizer A and B. So I haven't, good morning, welcome everybody. In-ground, there's plant food A and B. I haven't researched exactly what these are for, but I know you're supposed to fill them and you pour it in there after a certain amount of time. And it tells you, there's like instructions on how much to do. So yeah, thank you, Chanel. Chanel is getting all the trolls up out of here this morning. Let's leave some to see if they're gonna talk about some hydroponics. So Jimmy V. Martin, in-ground hydroponics lines for water conservations found that crop generation in any soil conditions. I won't be doing any in-ground. I want to do some indoor stuff, so thank you very much. Rich, you know, she reminds me of me in your streams because I be getting them up out of there. So thank you, Jimmy V. Martin, for your input. So, right. So somebody tell me, right? So the fertilizer A and B will only grow one crop. You'll need to get more later. So yeah. So there's, when I got it, right, there was the bottle, and then they gave me, please don't spam the chat. Then they gave me two different, so this came in the box for, this came in the box with the extra supplies, right? Where is Rich streaming? He streams almost every day, 4 p.m. He does gaming, so he's there. Thank you, Jimmy V. Martin. He says, good luck with your bad self. You know, my father says that sometimes. So let me try to find it. Here it is. So inside the growth system, and I think that they prepared me for one feeding each. So in the box when I got it, if you had watched the unboxing video, so it comes with, I can get this out. It came with plant food, and then it came with refills, right? So, like I said, I don't quite know what I'm doing with it yet, but we're going to figure it out together. I feel like I have a good garden community here to help me get through this. And I think that once it, Jemima, correct me when I'm wrong, I think what I read is when the plants sprout and stuff is when I'm going to go in and add the water to these bottles and put them in there. Do I put them both in at the same time? That I don't know. So I need to go in and watch some more videos. But yeah. And one of the things that I noticed with the hydroponics gardening is the roots grow like all over the place. I was watching Yuji Mama, and like she prunes her roots, and you can see the roots all down in there, and then she sprays them with hydrogen peroxide. I thought that was pretty neat, right? So the purpose, like, so several things that you need for, in my opinion, for indoor gardening, right? Whether you're doing hydroponics, mix one at a time once you see sprouts. So you put one bottle in, you pour one bottle in, and then you give it a day or two, and then you pour the other bottle in, I guess. Not sure. I'll do some research before I do it. Like I said, I think I have at least a week before I see any sprouts. And I'm a little nervous, and I'm thinking I shouldn't have started it when I did, because I'm going out of town on Wednesday. But we're going to just pray that it works out to my benefit, because I'll be gone for what, 4 or 5 days, and it's just gonna be sitting here. So I'm gonna have to give my other half instructions on what to do if he sees some sprouts, because I want this to work, right? So yeah, I was gonna get to that about how often do you clean out the system, because I didn't see any videos about cleaning out the system. Maybe I didn't put in the right search, but yeah, I don't know. You know, you see the video, so you mix A, pour in, you mix A, pour it in, then mix B, and then pour it in, and don't mix them together to pour it. Oh yeah, so I'm assuming because they have two separate bottles, you pour them in separately. But I pour them in around at the same, not at the same time, but like pour one in and then pour the other in on the same day when I'm doing it. So that's good to know, because I didn't know that. So yeah, so like I said, there are different ways to grow indoors, right? So some people use clay pebbles or this rock wool stuff. I've seen mixed reviews. Rock wool is preferable, but some people, I saw this online. Some people use pebbles. I don't really know. I guess pebbles kind of like give plants some type of similarity with like soil. G Mama says I clean my system out every 3 months, or if I see an algae problem. I'm gonna need to talk about this algae problem thing. Is it like your big system has an algae problem, or is it like the small system has an algae problem, or like do all systems have an algae bottle? So I'll tell you what it says, Chanel. So she asks, do you pour the whole bottle in, or do you save some fertilizer for another time? So on here, it says, it gives like nutrient portions, right? So it says for 1 liter of water, you pour in 5 milliliters A and B. So, and then this whole thing, it tells you holds 100 milliliters. So I think that you pour, and then I think, so if you look at the top, yep, okay. So you look at the top, right? You probably can't see it, but the top has like, I don't know if you can see here. I'm gonna put my finger here. I don't know if you can see it, but the top has like a measuring whatever. So I'm assuming that you mix it, right? You pour it in here, and then you pour the amount inside of the hydroponic system. So that's a great question. So all hydroponic units have algae problems if the light enters the water. Wow. Okay. I might need to move it on this sun porch, because it's definitely going to get a lot of, well, maybe not, but I'm thinking mine might get a lot of light. So yeah, so like I said, I'm glad that it has like the little, um, I'm glad that it has the measuring stuff up top, because like if you're moving fast and you don't know what you're doing, I could see somebody like a beginner, like me, pouring like a whole thing in there and just having a mess, right? So that's what you do. So another thing that I learned that you need for a hydroponic system is a good set of either scissors or shears. So I have a favorite shear. I use Fiskars, and this is when the plants grow up, when you need to trim them, trim the roots and things like that. And so I clean them off with alcohol and hydrogen peroxide from time to time. I've had these for years. I oil them and I clean them off. And we also sharpen these because they're just my favorite. So this is like down the line, once your plants get up pretty big, you have something to trim roots, and you have something to trim where you want to snip. Because with these, and just like any plant outdoors, you should not be pulling on the plants, because like you're going to pull it out and things like that. So wow. Okay. You know what? Boom, 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 boom. Thank you. Wow. So snips are good for smaller plants. So I have these pruners, and then I have like the little pruners that the little pruners that I have never experienced a troll come in my chat and say anything like that, y'all. I'm sorry. That kind of got me like, whoa. So what I want to do for 1 minute is look. So now I don't feel as bad because I thought like I'm looking at the poll and I'm thinking like, who all in the gardening community grows indoors, right? Are you an experienced indoor gardener? And now I know and I feel a lot better that I am not in the majority. Well, I'm not in the minority. Like a lot of people just they don't know how to do it. So Jacqueline says, unfortunately, yes, the internet is undefeated this morning. Okay. So the internet is undefeated. And so let me give you some facts that I researched online about hydroponics, right? So, you go outside and you have plants and you have to water them and all of that. Good morning, Fortune. Good morning. I didn't see you were here. She's saying she's starting her herbs and some Shasta daisies in January, and you start you're starting those in a hydroponic system. Good morning, John. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that too. So we started off talking about hydroponics, but I'm going to show you. I don't know if I could, I'll put the cameras in there. So you have to excuse the mess, but I have like different shelves and grow mats, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. But I'll tell you why growing in hydroponics. I'll give you like a little fact that I found very, very interesting, right? So they said that you'll use 90% less water and get faster plant growth with complete control over what your plants receive. So you're basically saving water by using hydroponics because you're not outdoors watering and doing all of that stuff. So like that's amazing. And then the other thing that I like is you don't get weeds and like the soil borne diseases with hydroponics. So like, yeah, hydroponics, they could still get diseases. And I was watching Four Seasons, and you could still pretty much you can still get aphids on hydroponic system is what I did learn in someone else's live stream. And like I said before, roots and stuff, I meant your plants can be grown year round. And you reduce pesticide, right? But the con is that they have a high, um, to start them off initially, as you can see, I've purchased many things. Your initial cost is going to be high, right? With the hydroponic system. But you don't always have to use hydroponics. So let's get into some of the other things that you could do. So, and I think I showed you all before, but let me just grab it real quick. So let's go to my little supply shelf over here. I'll show you. So you see my little supply shelf over here? And this pretty much shows you all the different things that I have. So I'm going to pull out some of these things and we're going to talk about it this morning. Some other things other than hydroponics that you could start your stuff off inside. So Forgin, you two are kind of like me, and I don't know if you have it, but I don't know if you can see it. So I don't have it on the top of this shelf here. Let me turn so you can see the shelf. So this shelf doesn't have lights, but under here I have lights on the second shelf and the bottom shelf here. And then what I also use are, have it tied. What I also use are heat mats, right? So with these heat mats, I use them when I start seeds, and you might have seen me. Yeah, I started seeds on a live stream before. They didn't do good for my fall plants. And I also have I have the seed sprouter system. And with the seed sprouter system, they come with these lights. They're like almost like LED lights, but not quite. And they have a mounting system where I could put them on cabinets, but I haven't mounted these because I move them around. I put them on the shelves over on the other side. And then I use cocoa coir as a soil base. You wet it and you put it in, and then you put them in the trays. So that's one of the ways. And as you can see, over the years, I have a lot of different like light systems. So let me put this back in here. If I pull it out, I'll show you. So you can see I've invested a lot over the years for my seeds starting indoors. And like most others, I start my seeds early so that when it's time for them to go outside, I can, you know, just put them outside. So I'm going to set this over here so I can put this heat mat back. Let's put this back over here. And so come spring, I'm trying not to bump into the lights that I have up underneath here. And so, yeah, I use the second and the last shelf up underneath because I can control the light that it has. I put the lights on a timer. So I have like one of those cords that you could put them on a timer. So good morning, Chris. Good morning. Your lights are like 2 for $25 or so on Amazon. Yep. Pink full spectrum lights. So the lights that are up underneath the shelf are full spectrum lights. And then I also have, I don't know where they are, but I have the lights that I can remove, put on and remove from the metal shelves back there. So all different types of lights. So I'm just going back through the okay. So, but yeah, over the years, I've gotten like so many different, Fortune has tried it. Rich, uh, are your lights full spectrum? Yeah, so I have some lights that are, full spectrum. I have some lights that are just regular, the white brights, and I like that I could remove the light fixture, and if it goes out, I can go right to Home Depot and buy another one. So there's that. So one of the things that I've noticed with my growing indoors and starting seedlings is you sometimes you can't time it perfectly. But I'm in the Northeast. I don't know how do you say your name. Um, Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Um, so he's better. Listen, I might have to get some tips and tricks from your husband. But yeah, thank you, G Mama. Thank you, thank you. Cause we don't want the YouTube police to come after me this morning, y'all. We don't want to deal with that. Yes. So, um, mm, one of the other things that, yes, bots will shut the live down. And I don't know who else has one of these, but G Mama, let me know if you have. Do you have one of these spray mister bottles? I didn't put any water in it this morning, but I just got these because I saw somebody online talking about spray misting um, your plants and seedlings in the hydroponics. I don't know how true that is, but I know that I'll be able to use this somewhere. So let me find out. But let me go back to being educated. Let me go back. So do you use a spray mist bottle for any of your gardening? Because I see people all the time. I know when growing cannabis, you need the misting bottles, but a mister is good. And then um, I actually bought two. I'm going to use one for my daughter's hair, and I'm going to use one for you. Use your mister for aphids. So tell me about let's talk about aphids inside of the indoor gardening pots. Hello, how are you? J Sir, I don't know how to say your name. I don't like to mess up people's names. So like I said, good morning everybody in the chat. If you're not a subscriber, go in and subscribe. If you haven't tapped that like button, please go and tap the like button. If you're on mobile, you can double tap your phone and it will like the stream for me. Um, I don't have any cats. I don't actually, I'm not preferable. My grandmother likes cats. I don't really like cats. So with hydroponics and any type of indoor growing, even with your regular seedlings that grow in some type of soil medium, you can get all types of diseases. So you have to be careful, right? So that's another reason why I got the mister to spray, because you don't want to just start coming in with like like the water cans and just putting it all over your plants, because then you mess up where the seeds are. You kind of saw that a little bit in my green stalk back there. I have seeds that have sprouted all on one side, and it was because when I was watering, I made a mistake and I kind of like just squirted in one of the little pods of it. So yeah, so you use mixed tree oil, isopropyl alcohol, or oil, baby shampoo, and filter water for pest indoors. I might have to come back and look at the chat to get that little recipe for the indoor stuff. Um, so one of the things that I saw yesterday, let me just move some stuff out of my way. Neem oil. I killed your mildew gnats just you had in your soil bin. You spray that oil down and shut it up. Um, so please, it worked. Yeah, I use a lot of neem oil too. So yesterday, y'all saw I had a bunch of aphids in my brassicas outside. I went and I gave all of them a good shot of water. I sprayed them all off, and then I came back with, I did a double dose, and I don't know if I was supposed to do this, but I did BT and neem oil. Um, and I'm just hoping that I'm gonna go out there and check them a little bit later today, but I don't want any of my plants. G Mama, why don't you use neem oil? Because I know there's got to be a reason. And the other thing I want to ask is, this A and B fertilizer. If you have A and B fertilizer, right? Is there a substitute for this? Does anybody make their own fertilizer? Because I'm pretty sure that buying these over and over again can become very expensive over time. So I was trying to look up recipes to grow my own, not grow my own, but make my own fertilizer for hydroponics. So neem oil can interfere with the growing of stuff? Huh. I didn't know that. I use a lot of neem oil all the time. I don't like to see pests. And I even go as so far as to, like, depending on how bad the pests are, I might actually use like 7 dust if it's really, really, really bad. So Google said that I can make my own hydroponics fertilizer. I'm going to have to Google it some more. A little bit off topic. Fortune, are you ready for later? Oh, you mean like seeds? Unfortunately, you can't make hydroponic fertilizer because the water is different from soil. Oh man, so I gotta keep buying this stuff over and over again? So in my opinion, that's a con to hydroponics. Okay, you ready? Okay, perfect. Just so you know, I'll log on a little early just so that we, I don't know what that means. Okay. So let's go through. We talked about disease, and we talked about all the things. Um, all right. So you use power fertilizer, which lasts for years. What's that? I don't know what that is. Powder. Okay. You know what, G Mama? I'm gonna look on your page and get your email address. Cause I apparently I didn't do all my research before I started this. But you know what? They say that sometimes when you learn through brute force, then that's the best way to be. So yeah. Oh, okay, leave him. Don't kick him out. He just being funny guy. We okay. So let's talk about some of the best plants to grow in your hydroponic system, right? Especially for beginners, me being a beginner, right? So the best things for beginners to grow in hydroponics gardening, right, is it says lettuce, herbs, and plants in the brassica family like mustards and kale, right? So as you can see, what I started in mine is three different types of um, I have three different types of basil, and then I have the rest are all brassicas like a tatsoi, I have a pak choi. Um, yes, Chris, you did tell me. Um, yes, you did tell me that. I saw your email. Um, so, and I hope you're having a great day, Kenneth. So Kenneth is Chris. So yes, let's keep it to garden related comments today. Um, and one of the things that I like about this particular hydroponic system is that it has the water levels on it. So like it tells you when the water is running low and stuff. And I like that it has the little opening set that the water comes out. So what I can tell you, we're not talking about them today, brother. What I can tell you is, and I can show you, and I'm gonna show you in a minute. So with when you when you start seedlings indoors and you use like the seedling mats and then like the containers, some people use plastic cups, some people use old containers that they buy plants in, right? So when you start those, you kind of see what kind of you kind of see what kind of water you need inside of your thing, because you don't leave plants like sitting in water when you have soil. But when you have hydroponics, you can't you measure, or you look inside the little, what do you call it, the clear section. I don't know what you call it. I'm a little tongue tied this morning. So G Mama says you don't recommend herbs because they grow so fast for hydroponics. Start the herbs, but don't grow. So yeah, I won't be growing herbs in it. I just started them in there, and as soon as they get like a good root system, I'm gonna pull them out and put them in some soil because I want those for inside. I want to have herbs year round inside, and plus a few people want some herbs, want some basil plants. So good morning, Calamity Jane. Welcome in, welcome in. This morning's live has been quite eventful. We had some trolls, we had some comments that like were like, wow, the internet this morning is undefeated. Is it a morning thing? Because like when I see some other people's lives, I don't see some of these type of comments. So we'll see. So yeah, good morning, Calamity Jane. I think I said it, but good morning again anyway. And thank you for joining us. We're talking about indoor gardening, and most of the conversation has been about my new, I don't want to say it's a toy, but it feels like a toy because I just started it yesterday, and yeah, yeah, Chanel, you're right. We had people looking for therapy this morning. But let me just tell you, I have some of the greatest moderators in the world. They are getting people up out of here this morning. Okay? So, I can't do a demo of a proper a pruning technique because uh, my stuff isn't up yet. But yeah, so I didn't put any lettuce in here because I have lettuce. I have lettuce outside, right? So I think eventually I'm gonna put lettuce in it. So here's I'm all over the place this morning, but here's what I want to do. I want to get another hydroponic system, and what I want to have is what I call a salad hydroponic system. And inside of it, I want to grow different types of lettuce. I want to grow a dwarf tomato, and I want to grow some parthenogenic cucumbers so that I can go to one system and harvest and get a full salad from one system. That is ideally what I want to try to do with one of them. And so I figure in my head, I could do it because I've been watching all these videos and I've seen other people do it. So if they could do it, I could do it too, right? So why not, right? I'm sure that other people have tried it. Um, so yeah, that's what we do. Let me end this poll real quick. And that's right. And you got to be excited about what you do. I'm going to end the poll real quick on this computer. All right. So, good morning, Erin. Erin, aka Miss Beyblade, in here this morning. So, yeah, it sounds so interesting. Maybe we'll do one for you too. Right? So, I figure I'll have it. I want to get a bigger one. So, I think G Mama, I saw on your stream you have the big white one that goes along. It looks expensive. So, it looks expensive, so I got to take my time on that. Um, and let's just see what happens, right? So I'm starting off small, and I'm just gonna see what happens. You've planted all your winter stuff outside except for your garlic. It's raining so much now. I'm ready to start my indoor stuff. So yeah, I think for the most part, with the exception of the enclosure, I've planted out all of the things that are gonna be outside. Um, and the only thing that I don't have in there are the things that I want to put inside the enclosure, and that's what the purpose of some part of what I planted in the hydroponics. So like the the bok choy, I have two types of mustards, and another green that I can't. Well, chocolate cherry. I don't know. I think she's working, Rich. So JC Clemmy, my sister has a great balcony garden for her salad greens, etc. She's just in an apartment, so you can certainly do it hydroponics. Yes. Good morning. It's an investment getting your roots wet with your tabletop. Encourage you to grow bigger. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I won't be able to put it. I don't want to. Here's the thing. I don't want to put the hydroponic systems indoors. And it's because even though it's hydroponics, they still get aphids, and I don't want that inside the house. So Chanel says gardening requires thinking, and I see you're a thinker. I'm the exact same way. It helps to think and plan. So let me show y'all. This is how much of a planner I am, right? When I first got it, I started like writing things down that I wanted to grow. I started writing down like things that I needed to get, things that I could substitute them with. So like, for example, I'll give you it, right? So it came with these stickers, right? And I think the stickers are to prevent you from getting like mold around I think I was supposed to put these on already. I'm not sure, but I'll put them on after they sprout. Good morning, Jason. Good morning. How are you? Thanks for joining us this morning. So I got the stickers, right? And I think I was supposed to put them on there, but instead of using stickers, I was in a few people's streams and I saw that they use foil to keep from having to buy the stickers. And I'm all about using like the home remedies. I know G Mama uses home remedies too. So I don't know what you use the stickers for. Um, it's I don't know how to say that either. Hi, good morning. Um, so yeah, I'm starting off small. I did put my basil seeds in there. I got a little worried when I first put my basil seeds in because I dropped them in, and when I put them in the hydroponic in the little pod, right? The seed or the coating, when it touched the water, it turned white. So I was just like, what? Oh, okay. So the stickers aren't really necessary. Most cover with foil to keep pests and algae off the pods. Yeah. So G Mama said earlier when light hits the water, it causes algae to come. So I think it's like the same concept for like fish tanks, right? So that's why there's so much algae and stuff in fish tanks because that light from the fish tank hits the water. And so that's why a lot of people treat their fish tanks or they buy the fish that eat the algae. So yeah. what I'm curious to see, and I saw it on somebody's stream, but I didn't know if it was AI playing tricks. If somebody had a really huge, um, yes, that's why your pod went wonky. um, I saw, and like I said, I don't know if this was AI, but I saw somebody put some algae eating fish inside of a big old hydroponic system, and I didn't know if that was true or not. Yes, you have to be careful about what we out our chicken waters for the same reason out in the sun. Yeah, yeah. So hydrogen peroxide does that too. It causes algae or it gets rid of the algae. Gee, mom, I wasn't really sure what that meant. So yeah. Um, and hydrogen peroxide does what? So are there seeds that you like? How do you will a hydroponic system let you know when your seeds are bad? Because that's what I'm thinking. The hi, Ninda. I don't know. I think it's a lot of bots in here this morning. Sure, you could use a fish in there if it's enough room. A beta would be great if you have a fish. Oh, oh my goodness. Hello, hello. There we go. There was a nursery in Maryland that had fish in their harbor. I bet. I bet. So, um, so yeah. So one of the things that I'm gonna keep check on, and here's my checklist, is number one, I'm gonna keep check of the temperature on the sun porch. Number two, I'm not gonna be running out here every 5 minutes looking down to see if I see a sprout. I'm actually gonna give it a couple days. Um, Number three, I need to check when to put foil. I think I put foil around the pods when I see the sprout, right? Yes, no, I'm not. Fish poo is good fertilizer too for hydroponic systems. Not you too, Chanel. Listen, I'm going to try my best to let this thing. And here's another thing that you need for indoor gardening. You need patience. And my patience is not the greatest, but I'm working on it. And that's the important thing, is that you work on your patience, right? So let's see. So for those that are experienced and you have your pH, right? So it says most greens thrive between a pH of 5.5 and 6.5. And so because of that, I want to buy myself a pH tester. I'm sure I could find one from Amazon. Aquaponics is gardening with fish and it requires a lot of research. Yeah, I don't think I'll be. Um, that's why you see betta fish and glass vases and flowers on top. Yeah, you see those a lot at some restaurants or just like in general. When we had a betta fish, we had like all the different types of plants in there with it because you can't really put other fish with it. So yeah, we did the same thing. And I also saw some hydroponic systems that have moisture meters. I don't know what those are for. Yeah, you're right. So, mm, what I like about so from cow manure to fish poo, gardening is wow. You're right, Rich. It is. So, and I think I spoke about this earlier, right? What I like about thank you, Red's Room. Thank you so much for subscribing. So what I like about most hydroponic systems is when they come with fertilizer. And I like it when people tell you, or not when people, but when they give you clear instructions, is I like that they have the instructions. So you probably can't see it here. They have the instructions on the bottle and there. So Red Room, are you a gardener as well? And if so, what zone are you in? Where are you from? Do you do indoor or outdoor gardening? So I'm gonna put these back in here so I don't use it. Um, Typically, what I do want to know is your 6A. Okay. So you get cold, it gets cold where you are a lot faster than where I am. Do you garden indoor or outdoor? Uh, Cheese UK crust. I, I think that's what that is. 7B. Both? Cool, cool. So, cheeses. Reading instructions will tell you if it can be used in hydroponics, soil, or both. Yeah, so I was gonna make a trip to Home Depot just to kind of check out the different type of fertilizers and read the bags or any type of whatever because I don't want to mess this up. G Mama, when you have your seedlings, right, and you transfer them to soil, how hard is it to harden them off to go into an actual garden? Like because I heard that it could be extremely difficult. So that's what I want to know. You know what? You know what I should have did this morning? I should have invited G Mama so she just could have been in here talking to everybody and she could have been on stream with this, right? You harden them off by keeping them in the shade for the first week. Mini Home Depot vlog? Maybe. Maybe. It's a thing. I'm no gardener by any means. You just like the content and pepper video. So if you like the pepper videos and um, if you like that, you want to come back later on this afternoon. Fortune is in the chat. She's going to try the pepper challenge live 2 p.m. today. So yeah, it's best to find a local hydroponic shop for hydroponics because the big box store doesn't carry the products needed. Okay, yeah, I'll look up that. Um, I'm not a master gardener. I did look in taking the master classes. Is there a big way to buy? Oh, is there any way to buy? So, Amazon sells, um, Amazon sells a lot of the fertilizer A and B in the big bottles. And so I forgot who it was. If you like the pepper challenge, there's a whole playlist that we're going to be putting all the hot pepper challenge stuff in. So it's not hard to transition hydroponics to soy. I didn't think it was, but I saw somebody online saying that it sometimes can be difficult. I figured maybe they just don't know exactly what to do. So um, yeah. So Red Room, check out that playlist. It's there. All the pepper challenges will be there, and I have a lot of fun doing it. It's a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, all that stuff. Um, so let's talk about the different starter systems. So there's the Let Pot, there's the Arrow. I think it's called Arrow Hope. There's the Garden Cube. Um, if you have different type of hydroponic systems, just shout them out in the chat. For the most part, I found that most of them are budget friendly until you get to the bigger system, and those can be in the hundreds. So you never know. You only use water soluble fertilizer. So I think is that not water soluble fertilizer because you got to pour the water in there. So or you meaning that they come liquid and you just add liquid to it. Soil is not the problem. Is from grow lights. So yeah, all you have to do is Cheese US is to all you have to do is harden them off. I think. Do you run a fan? So you see the fan? I don't know if you see that back there. I use that fan for when I have like seed starts and stuff like that. And I use just to help them get used to. That's my quicker way to harden off some of my vegetables that are indoor to get them used to being outside is the fan. So they come as powder and then you just add water. Yeah. So that's kind of what this is. There's like pebbles in here. You add water, and there's powder in one, and you just mix it in. Yeah, I know what hardening off is. I'm not that much of a beginner. I like to call myself an intermediate gardener because I've been doing this for some years. This is just my first time trying hydroponics. I do seed starts indoors, so that I know about. So where you're going from water to soil, you think you need to make sure the soil was super wet at first, and then you make them feel at home. So yeah, when I get ready to put them in the soil, I'm gonna make sure I use moisten the soil really, really, really good before I do it. So um, yeah, and then repotting them. And I've watched different things. G Mama Chanel's asking, what brand do you use for the soil? I don't think she means soil. I think she means fertilizer, right, Chanel? You want to know what brand of fertilizer she uses? I think if you go into the Effie's Grow Kit that she mentioned, it's probably in there too. So yeah, you're in the bushes. Oh, thank you, Miss Cheryl, for coming in and listening. What you got going on in the bushes this morning? Um, so yeah, okay, okay. And another thing that I have to get better at, and y'all know this is like my downfall for sure, is labeling. So I think I showed y'all. You might not could read my writing, but I can read my writing. When I did my hydroponics, I kind of tried to draw the circles for myself. Might not be straight circles, but I drew them, and um, I put what I'm growing here because I didn't want to put the labels in there and then get them confused. So at least I know where everything is inside of the growth system there. Um, nope, because the plant needs to learn how to grow without being submerged in water. Oh, so you don't wet the soil? Oh, so foraging, that kind of messed me up one time. I lost a lot of labels and stuff like that, and I started planting stuff, and I ended up planting things next to each other that shouldn't have been next to each other, and that's why I'm real big on labels. So Chanel said we're too much alike. Listen, like I said, that's my downfall. I need to know what is what, and so that I know where to put it in the garden, because my garden is very strategic as to where I put things. I do try to rotate my plants around so that it's not the same thing growing in the same place every year. I have to get a little bit better with that when it comes down to my tomatoes, but it's not good to always grow the same thing in the same place all the time. Even in the pots, I like rotate them around as to what grows in the pots. And that's why I was very intrigued by like the indoor hydroponic system, because it just makes it so much easier for you to know what's what. It's hard to rotate in just an urban farm, but you try. Yeah, I get it. Like y'all have so much space. Like I can imagine. So my end goal is to, when I'm older, is to retire and go back down south and live, right? And my grandmother has a huge yard, and she has like, I want to say about 3 or 4 gardens on her yard, on her property. And I imagine it, for her, it's very expensive to have to go out and buy plants. So she buys a lot of seeds and she starts a lot of things from seeds. But for me, living in the north where you don't have a lot of, where I'm at, I don't have a lot of space to grow. It's important to be able to um, grow things indoors and then go outside. So you recommend the Maxi Grow Powder Nutrients for Beginners from General Hydroponics. It's in a green bag. Let me write that down right now. Maxi Grow Powder. G Mama got all the gems this morning. I was hoping that you were going to be here this morning. I think I dreamed it. I was like, man, I hope G Mama be in my stream this morning, because she got a lot of indoor stuff with hydroponics, and I need all the help that I can get. And just being on this stream this morning, guess what? I want the South is closed to Northern gardeners. I don't know about that. Hi, hi, hi. You're writing right now too? Look, let's grow together, right? So, being that I'm a beginner, what do you think you worried that hydro is too much work, lots of work. I don't think it's too much work. Like, I work from home a few days a week. I'm in and out. I think it's going to be fine. I'm not too worried about it. I think I'm just anxious, right? I'm not nervous anymore because I've started it. I want to make sure it works so that I can buy some more or that I can get gifted some more. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Um, and I think the most important thing, right, is to start small. And that's what I'm doing. I have one. I'm gonna wait for it to work, wait for the plants to get big, and once they're done, and I've done it a few times, so it's gonna hydro needs nutrients nearly every day. I didn't read that, but I'll go back and research it. Gee, Mama, how often do you add nutrients to yours? Like, so think of it like this, right? Hydroponics is not too different from when you take a clipping of basil or whatever herb you use, you all out plants. But how different is it really from putting, basil clippings and stuff in your window? And I don't know about you, but I'm not adding fertilizer to that stuff. I mean, eventually, when it has a lot of roots, I do put it in soil, but how different could it possibly be? Except for it's just in the system and you have to watch the water levels and the algae and all of that stuff. So um, fertilizer for your hydroponics only need to be applied when topping your unit with water. So that's what I thought, right? So I was a little confused with that comment, right? Um, can you shout out my brother? He's fighting. Sure. Shout out to Ela Vano. I don't know if I said that right, but shout it out. Um, what's today? It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm all for shouting out for good causes. So yeah, that's good to know. So when I top off the water is when, but for the first part of fertilizing that it does, you do need to add fertilizer um, when they first sprout, right? So let me add that. I need a pH meter. So that I don't have, and I definitely need to get a pH meter because I'm not gonna know. And I think that I could just stick it inside of the one opening where you put water. So that's what I thought. I thought you only top off, and mine's is like I said 3 liters. So I would essentially add the 15 milliliters of A and B, and it has the cap to show me how much needs to go in there, right? So, but yeah, but I'm gonna, yeah, I just figure you gotta start somewhere, right? And figure out what works. So, Chanel, you got any more questions? Um, so the other thing is, oh, thank you, Hash, for coming in. So I was wondering if you were gonna show up this morning. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna give everybody one last view of what happened. I'm making you want to go grocery shopping right after this live. I'm going grocery shopping after this live. So, Hash is also, I think you're in California. Hash is also, I think you also use hydroponics and you do um, things inside. And let's look one last time. Let me do this one last time. Um, this is what we started, Hash. So thanks for coming in today. We've been talking all about hydroponics, indoor gardening, and although we've really been talking about the indoor gardening and hydroponic systems here, right? You have an aero garden. So I was looking at the aero garden. I was looking at I think it's called the Hope Garden. I was looking at all different types. There are a lot that are budget friendly, and like I said, when you get into the bigger systems, they get more expensive. So here's my suggestion. You do no. So this one is a garden cube, and this one is by Garden Cube. It's not a Aero Garden, but I think that this one in particular is very, very. I think it's budget friendly in my opinion. Um, it comes with everything you need to start it, so you didn't. But then if you're like me, you might be a little bit afraid of messing up a little, and then you go and you buy the extra pods yourself. And then when you buy the extra pods, it comes with the extra A and B fertilizer, and then you start researching things, and then you realize you need like the little misting bottle in the event whenever the plants get bigger and you get like aphids. So like I said a while ago, it could be kind of like expensive to start out, but once you have all the things, then it's like you're good to go, right? So you have all the things, you're good to go. We're all set here. We have um, our notes here. We have when to put in the fertilizer. The A-Hope has a 12 pot, and that's reasonable, and it has great reviews. It's in your cart for sure. I have an A-Hope and a Let pot in my cart, and I don't know which one I'm gonna get. My birthday is coming, so a thing that I do for myself for my birthday, and my birthday's in November, is I buy myself something for my birthday as a gift to myself. And I'm thinking this year, at first I thought I was going to buy another green stalk, but I have two. And because we're going to do some renovating and doing concrete around the house so that I can roll the green stalks around, I'm not going to get another green stalk right now until we're done with that part. So my birthday gift to myself this year might be another hydroponic system, just a bigger one, so that I can have two. And I think that'll help me in the spring, so I can use the smaller one for my salad garden. Like I said, I'm going to grow the parthenogenic cucumbers, the dwarf tomatoes, different types of lettuces. So I'll have the garden cube for that, and then I'll have a hope or a let pot or something else for different seedlings and different plants that I want around the garden. Another thing that I think that is great about having hydroponic system is, if you have tuned into my channel, you know that I also help other people with their gardens, right? So sometimes I don't like it when I have to go to garden centers and nurseries to buy their plants. So if I could do the seed starts on my own, because that way I know what type of shape or what condition the plants are in. If I could start growing the seedlings myself, and I just grow a lot of them, so I'll grow a lot of them in like seedling trays as well as in the aero garden. I think that's like a win-win for what I want to do, right? So let's see, let me go catch up with some of these comments. I do that too. Your family doesn't know what to get you, so yeah. So I have a list. My other half has access to my amazing list, my Amazon list. I do not grow any cannabis. Jay, to answer your question, Chanel says she was comparing the two and decided to save money because they basically do the same thing, the A-Hope and the Let pot. For Christmas, I want a Hobby Lobby shopping spree. Okay. Oh, you okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Temporal from Temporal Caster. Thank you. I am terrible. Okay. Thank you, thank you. What plants do I wish to grow hydroponically? So here's what I want to do. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Um, right now, I want to try to grow some extra brassicas for my garden enclosure, right? So I have most of my plants outside already, and there are some plants like where my seedlings died, so I'm running low on kale. And the kale that I bought was, I have never heard of it. I am terrible at usernames. I've never heard of. Thank you and welcome to the channel. Hopefully you're a subscriber. I might Google it. Um, so yeah, I want to grow a lot of brassicas. Eventually, I want to have flowers that I grow in it, and the flowers are going to be for inside. So I was in a live stream and they were doing a chat and chew, and someone said that they heard of people having their garden cube or hydroponic systems in their bedrooms, but they grow flowers, right? So being that the light is auto on and off, I might get one and put it in my room for flowers. So that's a thing. Plants like kale and lettuce do best in NFT system. What's an NFT system? So let me know what an NFT system is. Let me know. So I'm eventually gonna do some flowers, some spring. I can't wait to do the spring plants. So if you want to grow cut flowers, do Dutch buckets. Dutch buckets? I don't. What color are they? Dutch buckets. You see, I'm writing it down. Um, you're trying to grow chamomile indoors for the winter under your lights. That's a thing. So yeah, I want to grow some herbs as well. I might start the cilantro indoors next year. Nutrient film technique. I'm gonna Google that. NFT. Nutrient filled technique. Maybe that is what G Mama does. I'm not sure. It's the rails. Yeah, G Mama does have rails in her garden room. I think it's a garden room. So yeah, nutrient filled. I don't know if I have enough space for that. I mean, I do, but I don't want to take the whole sun porch. Although I feel like the sun porch is my workstation, so only I come out here. Um, so yeah, nutrient filled. Huh? Learn something new every day. Every day. Okay. So I know we did a lot of talking this morning. We talked about a lot of things. So, good morning. Good morning, Marie Fitz. Good morning, Amar. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Make sure you come in, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. Check out the garden content on the channel. So, Let Pot, A Hope, the Arrow Gardens, um, cilantro will work in the system that I showed. That's the garden cube, all budget friendly arrow systems. But they also have some that are more expensive, and those can run you a lot. So what I may do is in the description, if I remember, I'll go in the description and I'll put in some links to different budget friendly hydroponic systems that I have found. An ant. Sorry. Different arrow systems that I find. Hello, George from England. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the channel. Welcome in, welcome in. And I will, so to go back to hash what I'm also growing. So I have brassicas in the garden cube right now, along with basil. I'm not sure that they have the same type of grow schedule. So once the basil gets up to where I could put it in something else, I'm just going to take them out and then put something else in. So I don't know how often, or I don't know if you should do this. And I started thinking about this last night. I don't know if you can make your own from PVC and fence posts. They're like a 5-inch square. Yeah, I don't know if I have the patience to make my own hydroponics garden. Maybe if my brother and my other half want to do me a favor, they'll make me one so I don't have to keep buying them, right? So yeah. So if you buy one that doesn't have a timer, you need a timer. Labels, which if you're like me, you've been drawing and you don't need the labels. And root health monitoring, that's something, of course, you. He says, which brother? Of course, you. But yeah, and an uninterrupted power supply, because these things do need to be plugged in. All right. So that's what we had today. A quick and easy way is an inexpensive is bubble ponics. What is okay? Or Rich could just buy me 5 more and I will be straight. You hear that, Rich? Or Rich could just buy me 5 more. So there we go. What I'm going to do today is, because we're going to be live streaming later, we're not going to do the full 2 hour stream this morning. I don't even know if you guys realized that we were doing 2 hour streams on the weekends. But let me give you a preview of what we're doing this week, right? So for everybody that wasn't here yesterday, we're not going to be live next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I have to go to a conference, so I'll be out of town. But we are going to drop content. So make sure you tune in, and I'm going to drop the content at the same time that we would normally be going live, and give you some shorts throughout the day to keep you guys entertained, right? I am going to try, because I'm not going live on the weekend, because I have the hydroponics here, and I'm thinking by next week something should be happening in there. Something should be happening. I'm going to try to go live indoor from the sun porch with the hydroponic system, and I'll show you guys some of the things that I have gotten in the mail. So next week we will thank you, Eric. What we're going to do is, I'm going to try to go live one day during the week, maybe one evening. I have lights out here. All I really need is a 5-gallon bucket with a net pot, air pump, and air stone. I'm gonna look that up. That might be a project that I do, Hash. So that actually might be, I'm gonna write that down. Build with a bucket. So I'm gonna see what it costs, and that actually might be, it might be a next gardening season project, but it is on my list, just so you know, to build my own hydroponic system. $25. I'm all for the $25. 100% all for the $25. So this afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Fortune's going to be joining into the chat. I don't have one of those fancy streaming services. We're going to use YouTube's live to do the live. She's going to come in and join me as a collaborator, and she's going to do the pepper challenge. Okay, so make sure you come back a little later for that. This week dropping, we have my garden update. Most of you may have seen a lot of the things that we done in the garden, but I actually recorded it and put it on tape just in case you missed anything. And we're going to have that. So stay tuned with all of the things to send me further into the rabbit tunnel. You can grow hydroponically outdoors, and it's called DWC, Deep Water Cultivating. So G Mama, funny thing you say that. Vigo Garden has, I think, what you're talking about. And I looked at it, I want it, but I'm going to wait until the renovation is done to do it. So I'm going to end up getting one of those Vigo Garden beds that do the hydroponic, where you just put the water and do it. And I think that's what you're talking about. Tell me if that's what you're talking about. So Vigo Gardens has the outdoor garden beds that's like hydroponics. And I can't wait to do it. Can't wait to do it. Right, Chanel? I wasn't gonna mention it on stream, but it's in my noggin here. I am gonna do it, okay? So I'm gonna say that that's my time this morning. Thanks everybody for joining the stream. I enjoyed being here with you. I hope I see all of you later, along with some new people. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. So, oh, you haven't seen it? I don't know her name, but she's from Alabama. Lisa has one of those Vigo Gardens, and I saw it on her stream. And now, is that the $400 outdoor garden? I don't know how much it costs, Tamika. I don't know how much it costs. I just know I want one. I want all the things, okay? I want to grow big, okay? Grow big or go home. And I'm home, and I want to grow big. Okay, we're gonna just grow together. So, see, we're all in here doing this together. And yeah, so we're going to grow big and have all the things coming on and Hello, Craig Anthony. Hello, hello, hello. And does anybody have any more questions for me? G Mama. We're gonna get this garden thing going together. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all the things, and I can't wait. Like I said, don't be surprised if I ended up with one of these Vigo gardens for my birthday, or another bigger hydroponic system for my birthday, because my birthday is next month and I can't wait. Sag here. Um, like I said, my goal, get a good 3-part nutrient and some pH down. I'm definitely going to research that. So I think when we live stream next time, I'm going to combine hydroponics, talking about hydroponics with combining what we have going out in the garden. So we'll do a little bit of both. Hot pepper challenge today with foraging. 2 o'clock today. I can't say it again. 2 p.m. today. Come back, come back, come back. Live streaming with foraging. Can't wait. I have faith that she's going to make it to the end, but if she doesn't, kudos to her and all the applause and hand claps for her for even trying it, because that's more than I could say for myself, because y'all saw me try pepper on stream. I could barely make it, right? And upcoming on the stream, we're going to have more pepper challenges. I think I have about 2 or 3 left in the queue. Big brother in the chat is going to come next month. He's going to try the pepper challenge. So we're going to do all the things on this channel. So make sure you tune in. We have a lot of good content dropping. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, hit that notification bell icon. And we're going to see everybody a little bit later today. You see that, Forge, and everybody's cheering for you. Go, 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 go. And I can't wait. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see you guys a little bit later on today. All right. So until later today, happy gardening, everybody. Get out, grow something, toss a seed in a pot. Let's do all the things, and let's get growing. All right. See you guys later.